twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Caught in Two Minds podcast.
Meanwhile, Shelly weaves his way through.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, Caught in Two Minds. It's your boy E. Marshall, kicking it with the homie Fitz. Friday afternoon game. I'm all combobulated. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's all kind of protests. You know what I mean? No, we're not in the Super League anymore. So
Crazy.
We stuck together and we want Kroenke out. And I don't understand. How long have me and you been talking about Kroenke out? For years. Everybody, really.
I mean, you know, and years. I mean, I really I've always come from the angle too. It's not necessarily like I say Kroenke out.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to enlighten Arsenal fans of what you can expect.
Right.
Kroenke has got his fingers in a whole lot of pots and spends the money the way he wants to. And this is our owner.
Right. Why would he sell a club he makes so much money off? Raping and pillaging. You know what I mean?
With all those teams that are listed in the top football clubs of, in the world, blah, blah, blah. We're one of the only ones that, I don't know if we have the last few years because we're not making Champions League, but we churn a profit.
Yeah,
we churn a profit every year. Manchester United, they're in the red. They don't. Real Madrid doesn't. Barcelona, Kroenke's making money.
Right.
He's making his money.
That's the only reason why he bought the club. He don't care about how far you go in Champions League or winning league titles. As long as he can keep making that profit so he can buy some helmets for the Rams and, get that stadium built and whatever else he needs to do for the Denver Nuggets. Who else? What other teams?
I'll tell you, let me get you a little quick story. And I might have told you this one, but Arsenal fans would probably love to hear this one. So I know through connections of some people involved in the NBA.
Right.
And
Shaw, right? Brian Shaw.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to divulge necessarily who I'm talking about because but a friend of mine went to go visit one of these players who was coaching for Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
He's been around to other squads, other teams, other facilities. He said the Denver Nuggets, I think they might have a new stadium now, so the story might be a little bit old, but he said, man, the facilities for the Nuggets were ratchet.
Right.
Meager. And he said, man, I never seen game meals served to professionals like this.
Right.
He said it was like a cheap-ass buffet with Salisbury steak and shit, and not even feeding his pros,
Right.
This is Kroenke, man. He's making money. That's what he does.
That's it. And it's been like that since day one. And to stir it all up again, I get it. But, the club as a whole said, okay, we get it. We're not going to be in the Super League. So all the extra fuss after the fact is just Momoism. Let's all get together and play grab ass and pretend like we're doing something when we're not really doing anything. We're just.
I mean, for your own spirits, good job. I guess that makes you feel great and you're strong. But I'm just here to tell you that the Super League's not off necessarily just because of the fans.
Right.
FIFA was hanging something over the players' heads.
Exactly.
And you noticed the announcement didn't come until after the players came back from their little captain's meeting that Liverpool set up or whatever.
Right.
Jordan Henderson set up. That's when it got called off because the players were being threatened like you can't play in the World Cup.
Exactly.
I mean, what's it look like a Colombia player that chose to play for his club and he
That's
can't
paying
go
him
back to
money.
his country no more? His
Right.
country will kill him for not being able to play in the World Cup. It's the
Right.
most important sporting event in the world, the World Cup.
Exactly. It still
the
is.
Players, I think, is who really called this off. I mean, really made this whole decision get turned around.
Exactly. What if Arsenal didn't decide to join the Super League and all the other teams did and it went through? We would just be stuck in, shitville. Anyway, the so yeah, I'm just, it's whatever. Good job. We got great fans. Whatever.
Just,
read my Twitter feed and you'll see, you see how far the support goes. They be
I want to
cussing
see
out Arsenal.
protests like that for VAR. That's what I want to see.
That was gonna be my next little thing. VAR has ruined the game. Like,
it's awful, man. It's awful.
It's ruined it. Not because a lot of the VAR decisions are going against us. It's just like you can't celebrate. Like they've snuffed out the enjoyment of the game. Like you can't get excited about anything. You gotta wait for the review, and then wait for the decision. By then, the buzz is gone. They've ruined their own game with this bullshit, dude.
It's so but check this out. The arbitrary choice of how far back in the play they're gonna look.
You saw that too on that first corner to Everton. He was offsides. They showed it. He was offsides, and it was still a corner.
Yes.
It's like, why is it a corner? He was offsides. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then right after that, the foul, it was, he dove. He didn't dive. He got clipped. It was a foul, but
he took advantage of the touch. And you know what? Honestly, if they came back from VAR and they were like simulation, I might not have had anything to argue about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But when they went back 4 touches to say Pepe was offsides, it was like, well, how far you want to go back?
Like, what are we doing?
I mean,
where does it end? What are we doing?
The guy before that fouled the guy that passed it to Pepe. How about we go back to there then?
And how outside was Pepe? Zoom in. Zoom in. Don't just zoom in on the lines. Zoom in so I can really see.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know what I mean? They never give you a close-up. It's like, how outside was he? Why can't you zoom in? Seriously.
Hey, they had an awful angle on the one that they got when they got the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went back to look at the Everton play, and they were like, oh, well, was he offsides here? And I'm like, he could be, but it's all – the angle's all tilted. Like, I can't tell.
Right. And that was okay, so we just jumped right into it. Arsenal hosting Everton. Just whatever. Just a shitty game. We lose 1-0 on anyway, we'll get to that later. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about even when Everton did score, they scored their first goal off the Leno mistake, and they went back to check. You could see he was onside. Like, why are you checking that? Even from an Everton point of view, like they can't even celebrate an obvious goal just because they go back to check. They've completely snuffed out all the fun. It's a bore. It's rough. And the game was exciting in the first half. We were passing the ball quicker. We were moving around, creating chances. But, all this VAR shit is just really, And what's funny is a lot of the old timers are like, you're going to ruin it. They're going to ruin the game.
Just adamant about it in general.
They're going to ruin the game because it's going to get to a point where you're going to keep going to it to get everything right. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse.
That's like that arbitrary part I was talking about where it's like, you know what? You guys have set it up, but you kind of haven't defined it all the way yet.
Right.
Like in football, which is, that's the earliest adoption of this whole thing. So they've been American football, excuse me. They've been doing this for a long time. Now a challenge can be challenged for what I'm asking you to challenge it for.
Right.
So, if you went to VAR to see if Danny Ceballos simulated or it was a foul, fine. But I can't request you to go also while you're there, look and see if Pepe was offsides. Hey, it's make your call. We're gonna look at it.
Right.
Done. Let's move on.
If it's not an obvious offsides, dude, you can't even fuck around with VAR. Like, you shouldn't even need the little lines on an offside call to make the call. Soon as you got to bring the lines up and measuring shit, it's not offsides. Tie goes to the runner or whatever it is.
Right.
And let's just move it on. But that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Or else, why are the refs out there? Why do we have linesmen?
Yeah.
If that's how close we're going to look for it.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't even bring that. I mean, we kind of talked about it last week, but the one that they called soccer for when his toe was offsides.
His baby toe. So,
he's leaning the opposite way. Whether his baby toe was off or not, it's he's not even playing the ball on.
We're talking about a baby toe, though, Fitz.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's all we're talking about.
And he's only 19. It's got to be just a tiny little toe.
Right. So what? I mean, it doesn't that's my whole point. Like, the VAR and the offside shit is ruining the game, because if it's that close where you got to bring the lines and measure and do a damn science project, it's not offsides. It's a tie. It's a tie at best.
Yeah.
It's got to be an obvious offsides, and then you're done. Anyway, this is all.
At that point, are you looking for fouls in the box too? Are you going to check that out? A foul in the box could have occurred in between the Pepe and was it a foul in the box? Right. Are you looking at everything going on now?
And like I said last week, you need to do a science project on when the ball was actually kicked towards the player. You got to draw some lines, get your little protractor out, and get it dialed in when the actual moment the ball was kicked, and then go look and see if the player is offsides, because they don't even
sensors on the ball. We should put a bunch of little microchips in there so we know when contact was made.
Right.
And then we could,
that's coming.
Be serious about it.
That's coming. That's coming. Like the old timer said, it's not going to stop once it gets going. It's Pandora's box, because nobody is going to be like, you know what, this is a mistake. Let's stop this shit. Yep. It's going to be like, well, we got to just review that too, and we got to review that too. How about we give the managers a red flag, and they can throw out, like they can throw out the little red flag and get a review on something. Anyway, it's a mess. It's such a shame, because you can clearly see it now. It's ruining football. It's ruining the enjoyment of watching the game. And I don't know what to do now. I'm already halfway gone on the NFL. That shit takes 3.5 hours. NBA is a joke because fools are just casting up threes. Baseball, either a home run or a strikeout. And now soccer is like, you can't even celebrate goals. So
baseball held out on replay stuff for years and years and years, and they finally did it. But they're kind of closest to soccer as far as the argument for a long time was there's always kind of little gray areas in baseball and just like soccer too. Like, is a guy offsides, or did a ball cross over the foul line before he, there's all kind of weird stuff in baseball that they were just like, man, stuff happens. You get a call, you lose, you don't get a call. It just happens. Like,
it would be the easiest one to review shit on, to me, is baseball. Because that's why they had to get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the thing with baseball is you don't really need umpires out there, especially calling balls and strikes.
Not anymore. That's for sure.
You know what I mean? You really don't. I mean, you can have the guy standing there, but just let the AI or the computer do it. So then there's no. Anyway, what are we talking about?
What are we
talking
about?
Seriously. So the 0-0. Arsenal's playing their ass off. We're huffing and puffing. We're probing. We're passing the ball quicker all game. Get to about the 75-minute self-destruct button. We pressed it.
Just
the self-destruct. I thought Xhaka should have professionally fouled the guy once he kind of got beat. He should have fouled him, but he didn't. What's his name? Richarlison or something like that.
Richarlison, yeah.
Right. So he gets by him and just, takes says, fuck, screw it, I'm going to take a shot. And, Leno does his thing. Go ahead before I get on Leno. What do you
I mean,
the people that love him kill me, dude. Like, how has he earned that respect? He got his job taken by an Arsenal journeyman, Martinez.
I tell you exactly, dude.
Everybody was like, man, I like this guy. Like, he never played. He always got loaned out, and he just took his spot.
Arsenal have a history of these kind of guys that come into the team and they do a few amazing things early.
Yeah.
And everybody is locked in now. I'm in love. Right. And they just stick until the value's gone out of that guy and you can't get shit for him.
Right. Failure.
So, like I said, I don't know, man. For people to just brush it off like it shouldn't have been a serious consideration.
To keep Emmy?
To Emmy, man. And I said it back then. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go till I die, man. I was Emmy all the way.
Yeah.
But, and I mean, mostly because, hey, if we're going to talk business with Kroenke, I think we can get something for Leno, like more.
Well, yeah.
We can get more for Leno.
Exactly. We need money.
Let's go ahead because we got a guy that's every bit as good.
We got what is it? We got to sell to buy. I mean, you could have pulled in a lot of money for Leno. Yeah. I mean, not anymore now. I mean, who knows? But I've never felt comfortable with Leno. Never.
You've always said that.
Never felt comfortable. And it's his communication. He doesn't communicate well with the back line. I feel like I'm repeating myself. He doesn't communicate well with the back line. I don't know why, but everybody looks shaky when he's back there. Whereas you look at Emmy, that was the number one thing with him. Everybody kind of felt comfortable.
Just everything
or even Ryan.
Cool,
even when Ryan was back there.
With Emmy, I never felt like uncomfortable and shaky about what was going on back there.
Right. He doesn't give him a shout when he needs to come get the ball. He doesn't catch it enough. He's always trying to punch. He's bad on crosses. But a reactionary save or his quickness, he's a good athlete. He can make quick, good saves. He's got good reactions.
Which is where he fools everybody.
But
he looks exciting. Everything looks wonderful.
Exactly. But as far as his decision making, and that's the number one thing with a keeper, you got to be able to make good decisions. And on this incident, he just shit the bed. I mean, what do you want? He just shit the bed. But periodically throughout a season, he does this. This is what he does. And
which is something I've kind of warned about, which I'll actually say, like you were saying with Xhaka on that one too. I thought he should have just professionally fouled on there. It's the same thing with him. Look, I praised him last week and everything. Gave him a standing O. But like I said, there's once or twice a game,
right?
Or you gotta watch yourself because he may get took, and that's the same thing with Leno,
right? Well, I mean, he was hanging in there, for the entire time he'd been at left back. He got exposed this time, but he's got to be smart enough to know I should foul this guy before he gets away from me.
Yeah,
what I mean? They had a coming together. And Richarlison kind of played him, divided him up a little so the ball went over his head. As soon as they both turned around, Xhaka should have pulled his arm, taken the yellow, and stopped it.
Yes.
But as soon as he had to go chase that fool, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
It was a wrap. He was going to get into the box and do what he did.
And Richarlison, he's a force, man. I mean, he's a big young kid that moves good. So,
strong, right.
You got to know when you're about to be took and just go ahead and foul,
But Xhaka's got vast amounts of experience you know, and football. He should have known that.
Yeah.
But he's still, you know, he got back.
Yeah.
Anyway, Leno, I mean, what are we doing?
You know, when you see the whole thing, it's just like that other people may have done things wrong, but it doesn't matter. Leno, come on, man.
Yeah, that was brutal. And the way he kind of had to hit it so it went through his legs to get in the goal, like he
kicked it like to his outside leg, which I don't know if he was just trying to pop it across to somebody else or he was doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
But whatever, man. Leno, scoop the ball up, man. That's an embarrassment.
We're a mess. And this is you know, I'm all for giving Arteta, you know, time, but this is another little knock. You know, game we needed. Actually, we didn't come out flat. You know, we came out pretty good. We just didn't create enough chances. We got some injuries. Who were some of your standouts? I thought Smith Rowe, his first touch, his movement, I thought he looked good. Saka, Pepe. Was it good Pepe? Was it hot Pepe? Warm Pepe? Cold Pepe?
I'm
There was hold on before you say something. There was one play, like I think it was like his first touch. He got the ball. He tried to take anyway, he didn't pass it quick enough, and he eventually lost the ball.
Yes.
Go ahead.
There's always a few of those for sure. But the
pretend energy, pretend excitement. Like
it's just, man, it's the black hole. Yeah. Excuse me. I don't mean to be I'm not trying to say that. It's that right. You know what I mean by that term. It's just it's
exhausting.
It's so and it's so frustrating because he's a momentum killer. There was a few times when we kind of got it going and we're moving the ball and everybody's boom, boom, touch passing. And then I remember at one point, and it wasn't a wrong decision to switch it all the way back over to Pepe's side. He was wide open over there.
Right.
And stops and faces the guy and tippy-toes it back and forth to try to make the guy commit so he can try to tap it, and it's just like, you hear how long it takes me to say it.
Right.
It can't take that long in the pitch, and that's how long it takes for him to try to make a move on somebody. You would just slow everything down.
For real. You would love to see him just get the ball and just put in a cross every once in a while.
Yeah.
Switch it up, or cut in on your right. You're technical and classy enough to do that. Like, why you just going to your left constantly? And it's like,
even if he goes right, he could stop and fake a dude and then get back to his left if he wants. But it's never that. It's never that. He wants the guy to come at him so he could try to figure out how to flick it up over his wrist.
It's like he's forcing himself to go left. Like, I know I'm going left, but I'm still going to use you and go left. And it's like, no.
Yes, exactly.
It's a struggle, dude.
There's like an attitude about it. I know y'all think I'm not that good or that I waste possessions, and I'm going to prove it to you. And then I watch him waste possessions.
Right.
Right.
I thought Martinelli, it would have been a great game to see him down the middle, the future of Arsenal with the kids, over Eddie. You don't have any plans. You don't have any plans for Eddie. You don't have any plans for Eddie. It's been proven. You don't play him.
I know.
So why not give somebody a chance who you have plans for in the future? Martinelli, it would have been nice to see him playing as that number 9 with Saka, Smith Rowe, and, the whole gang. It would have been nice. I thought that was going to happen. Didn't happen. Eddie, he tries, I guess, but, we're not really putting in crosses for him. He's more of the, put a cross in the box for me.
He does a little like Lacazette type work. He tries to come back. He tries to, I don't personally. Eddie didn't have an awful game.
No. He took a few swipes at a ball.
But like you said, you've already made a decision. You're moving past him. So, we're all excited that Balogun is signed, right?
There's another one.
Sounds like he's going to be in the mix next year. And Nketiah definitely just falls out of place. So
yeah. So I mean, especially at this point in the season, not a lot going on. You're not going to play either one of those guys on Thursday. Huge game. Going up against Villarreal, Unai. The Europa League on Thursday. You know who Unai reminds me of when he tries to speak English? You remember those Police Academy movies? Like Bobcat?
Yeah.
What's his last name? Bobcat
Goldthwait.
Yeah. I can't do him. I just had that thought. And I was just like, that's who he sounds like. So I can't wait to see him in an interview and just really just go for it. Because shout out to Unai for trying to speak English. Shout out to him. But the players were like, what is this fool talking about? Soccer. He's just okay. See, Unai speaking in English, and when he's done, Soccer's like, "Si, senor." He's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I saw that El Nini, of all people, took a shot at Unai.
El Nini.
Yeah.
Wow. What'd he say?
He was just, he kind of did it under the guides of how much he likes playing for Arteta.
Oh, okay.
But he was basically saying, if you work hard in practice and you just have a good attitude, Arteta gives you chances, and I really appreciate it about him.
Plus, he speaks better.
He kind of says everything I'm kind of thinking what he's thinking.
Right.
But then he came right out and he said, "And Unai, I didn't get that kind of opportunity. He didn't. He chose not to play me. So."
And he was like, "And I never knew what that fool was talking about." Go look up Bobcat Goldthwait. Is it Goldthwait?
Goldthwait.
Look at you, getting all proper and shit. Police Academy, the citizens on. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done.
So the other thing I wanted to address is the thinness of our club. So I just saw circling Newcastle want to offer $20 million for Willock, which to me it's good business. But people, we
could sure use him.
We need bodies.
You said that.
Just continue to just get rid of everybody and then sign, 2 players that we like. Like we need bodies. Part of our problem right now. We don't have an extra striker. We don't have,
Jacques is playing left back. Clearly a position. A position he can't play. We should have signed a left back in January.
Although Ceballos, I love his heart, but he's the one playing next to, Partey right now. We're thin. Chambers is playing.
But he's a center back.
Did I miss something? Is Cedric out of favor again?
Right. I don't know what's going on with that. Bellerin, I know, okay, cool. Bellerin said he wants to leave. We're going to get rid of him. But all of a sudden, look, I'm sticking up for Bellerin, but all of a sudden, he just can't play at all anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Even if he's bottom of the list of the group, how come? I'm not hearing nothing about Cedric. What happened?
Right.
He's been on the bench, so he's not. He can't be too injured.
No.
Why is he not playing?
I don't understand.
You need to answer these questions, okay?
I don't get it. So, all our eggs in the Europa League basket. You said that 3 or 4 weeks ago, and that's clearly where we're at. Dropping points to Fulham and Everton. Yeah. That pretty much cashed us out as far as 7th place. So, it's going to be tough recruiting players if we don't have a European spot.
That's the big conundrum is,
But I don't think they care because Kroenke doesn't want to spend any money. We got a good youth academy that's producing players, and I think they're going to try to play this game for a little while.
Yeah.
Where we're just trying to develop new talent and bring it up, save money, and do the whole 9 yards. But anyway, our young guns are young enough
that they could probably endure this for a couple years or something. But, you know, I mean, as much as we want big names to come and fill our squad, like you said, we probably should be looking at, you know, the way we used to pick, you know, Southampton's, you know, roster and,
right.
You know,
right when we got to the Emirates, Binger had to save some money, and that's when he went that route. He signed, gave Denilson a contract extension.
Right. I mean, you know, you can go and do that route, but man, you got to make better decisions, you know,
right.
on who stays and who can just get the hell out of here.
Right. You can't sign 31-year-old strikers and give them $350,000 a week.
No.
Especially ones that like to dance and giggle and, you know, they think they're fucking the Black Panther and shit.
Post pictures of their new haircut. And,
right.
You know.
So, you know, there you go. You got rid of Ozil, which was good, but you kept Ozil as a striker. Aubameyang. Anyway, I'm done. I got nothing else to say. This podcast is over. This was a quickie. It's, you know, Thursday.
It's a sour cast.
Yeah.
We got sour today, but so what? Sometimes you got to be that way.
Right. And, you know, shout out to Arsenal fans for protesting. And, oh, gosh, you did it. Good job. You know, whatever. Thursday.
Hey, and way to post on social media that that our protest was stronger and more vibrant than the Spurs or Chelsea. Right. Like, good job. I'm proud of us.
All after the fact.
You know?
All after the fact that, okay.
Coming around the backside. You know?
Right. Okay, we're not going to do it. Okay, well, let's go protest now. Yeah. Okay, we're not joining the league. Okay, well, we're going to protest. And post it online. We want Kroenke out. Everybody's been saying we want Kroenke.
And everybody wants to ask Arteta, what do you think? What?
Right.
You realize that man pays his salary? What do you want him to say? You know, Stop it. Everything is ridiculous, everybody. Relax. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled program, which is the Premier League.
Right. Which is, you know, on the verge of being complete and utter dog shit with VAR. I'm just going to, we'll end it on that. Anyway, at CITM Podcast, go there for all the links to how you can listen or watch the podcast. We also got a YouTube channel, Caught in Two Minds. I'm at E. Marshall, and that's at Guna Rush. And I'm out. Fitz, what do you got?
I ain't got nothing else for you except peace.
Peace.
Twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Thank you for tuning in to Caught in Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. All feedback is much appreciated. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITM Podcast, at Guna Rush, and at E. Marshall Comedy. The music of this podcast is brought to you by Statics. If you like what you hear, please head on over to staticsmusic.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace.